Yeah, we can wait about the doors. It's warm.
Fuel fit shut off. Check it again. On. Radios are off. Altimeters. You wait till, well, we know that it's almost 700.
Well, it's going to be 638 feet, so up there. Don't worry, we'll do that enough times that you'll remember these numbers. It just happens.
Alright, our clock. Where's our clock?
It's digital, so don't need to worry about it.
Air knobs and vents.
You might want, depending on your view, air will come out there so you can face it how you want. I'm going to want it open a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the outside, under vent already open too.
Okay. Brakes. Circuit breakers are in. Avionics master's off. Mixture. Push it in.
Mm-hmm.
Throttle. Half an inch.
Mm-hmm. That's
okay.
good.
Carb heat on.
Well, carb heat off, so we want that where it is.
Okay.
Remember, when it's in, it's off. Out it is on.
Me.
I know, right? So,
okay.
So from this time forward, when we say just carb heat on, we'll just mean like that, off, right? And we'll just say on and off.
Okay.
So we won't say in or out, just on and off.
Okay.
Well, the special forces guys are out having fun. Hit the door off the freaking caravan. Let's grab my shoulder harness on. All right.
All right. Clear.
You might want to take your cell phone off the glass there. It's going to cook.
It's your pocket.
There we go.
Don't let me forget it. Crooked. Okay. Master switch. Anti-collision light.
It's the beacon.
Okay. Ignition switch.
Anyway, just remember, find which key, because there's one for the door and there's one for the engine ignition. And they don't say anything, so how I test if I was going to do that, I just kind of go there, see if it turns one, that's the right one.
Okay.
speed, departure frequency 134.7, squawk 0202, Spawner 01.
Spawner 01, runway 1 left, taxi Alpha.
Taxiway Alpha to runway 1 left, Spawner 01.
Very much.
Yep, it's perfect. Alright, so next we are we're ready to taxi, so now we need to get our weather. So weather is, I want to use COM 2 because this is an easier one to start off with. So,
November Delta, turn left next taxiway.
so now we're on COM 2.
Left next taxiway, go to ground. 3 November Delta.
COM 2 is 126.5. Oh, I'm sorry, weather is 126.5. So what I want you to do is turn the standby frequency to 126, and then the point you'll just turn to 50. That's the 50, so the big knob will control, there you go. Now that's on our standby, we want to use that frequency, so now we hit the switch button.
7.
Now we're listening.
Approaching use, landing and departing, runways 1 left, 1 right. All departing aircraft, contact ground control for clearance and taxi instructions. Arrivals, contact Tulsa approach on 134.7. This is Airman. A crane 800 feet northwest of the tower at 125 feet above ground. Advise on initial contact, you have information Romeo.
Information Romeo.
Riverside Tower, information Romeo 21530, wind 010 at 9er, gust to 16. Visibility 10, sky conditions ceiling 5,000 broken, 6,500 broken. Temperature 32, dew point 18, altimeter 2977. Visual approach in use, landing and departing, runways 1 left, 1 right. All departing aircraft, contact ground control for clearance and taxi instructions. Arrivals, contact Tulsa approach on 134.7. This is Airman. A crane 800 feet northwest of the tower at 125 feet above ground. Advise on initial contact, you have information Romeo.
Broken 5,032 degrees.
21530, wind 010 at 9er, gust to 16.
Alright, so the wind is right down the runway, so it is a little warm, it is a little gusty, so we'll kind of pick up a little bit when we're doing it. And after that, it's going to be a little sluggish because it is warm, so it's what they call density altitude, but we'll get to that. So now we need to contact ground control, which is 121.70.
A crane 800 feet northwest of the tower at 125 feet above ground.
There we go. So now this is the ground. This is where we start talking to them. So we got information Romeo. So this is where that we tell them who they are, who we are, where we are, what we have, and what we want to do. So if you want to try and practice here, it's Riverside Ground, Cessna 5440 Mike at Lisa Plane with Romeo requesting radar surfaces west.
There we go. Okay.
Yep.
Riverside Ground, Cessna 5440 Mike. Ready to taxi from Lisa Plane with information Romeo, requesting radar service to the west.
Perfect. Say that. Just hold that mic button down when you do it.
Riverside Ground, Cessna 5440 Mike. Ready to taxi from Lisa Plane with information Romeo, requesting radar service to the west.
Alright, so now they're going to read back and give us
5440
information.
Mike, Riverside Ground, maintain outer below 2,500. Tulsa departure frequency 134.7, squawk 0206.
So now you just read it back to them, so I'll get this one.
Okay.
Maintain air below 2,500. Departure is 134.7, squawk 0206. 40 Mike.
This is a 40 Mike, read back correct. Runway 1 left, taxi via Alpha. There's a Seminole it's going to be just ahead and to your left, taxiing into Lisa Plane. If you could just give way to that Seminole, then you can taxi runway 1 left via Alpha.
1 left via Alpha, give way to the Seminole at Lisa Plane. 40 Mike. Alright, so now we're good to taxi.
Hey.
Alright, so your airplane.
And Riverside Ground, Twin Cessna 500 Quebec Victor, we are a run-up complete.
Twin Cessna 0 Quebec Victor, you're number 2, contact tower.
So what we'll do, just advance a little bit. I'm going to see where he goes.
Thank you.
He's turning right, so we can,
we can...
Traffic no factor, where's your mind? Alright, so we can start advancing. So we just advance the throttle just a squidge. We start rolling, and so we're clear right, so let's start turning right with our feet. Bring that power back down to about 1,000, and you want to keep going white because we can't drive it like a car because we got to look at that. So clear left, clear right, and we're going to go to the right today.
Oh, yeah.
Because the wind's coming from the north, so we got to take off that way. So now, we'll taxi down this way. A 23-year-old kid owns that airplane.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he just got his multi. There's no way his insurance is covering him right now. Alright, slow down, so pull the power back. So we're going to turn over here and just end up in a 45 degree, so what we'll do is a little bit of the brakes, a little bit, there you go, just a little bit. Pick up your heels, press there, and then we turn to the right. We keep turning. We'll go in this little box here. I want to line up just like him, right beside him almost. So, and you can tighten it up with a little bit of the brake. There you go. And we'll stop here. That way we have about one airplane width in there. We're into the wind. The air keeps cooling the engine while we're sitting here. So it's a good place to do run-ups. Alright, so now while taxiing, yep, we did that. We'll cover more of that. We didn't really need it today. Clearance, got that. Turn slip indicator. When we start taxiing again, when we turn, we want to make sure the airplane banks with the turn, ball to the outside of the turn. But we can do that when we move again. So now we're at before takeoff checklist.
Cabin doors closed and latched.
Alright, closed, yep, and latched. Flight controls. Don't be shy, do the full control inputs.
02 ground.
I'm over here on Kilo and request permission to cross Zulu and 19 left so I can mow.
And don't forget the rudders. Well, rudder.
Shorter runway 19 left at Kilo.
Roger, hold shorter.
Alright, good.
Kilo,
Air tab.
Crosshead square, motions down and complete.
Yeah, go ahead.
Spring 09er number 2, contact tower number 1.
Number 2.
Just remember, if you want to look at it though, just pull back a little bit.
Fuel quantities.
Looking better than it was.
Fuel shut-off valve is on. There's Rich.
Yep.
Flap.
So go ahead and move the flaps down to like 10, 20, 30. Make sure that they operate and they stop where they're supposed to.
And it's on that one.
And you can go right back up, all the way.
Throttle 1700. Magnetos.
Alright, so left and right. So one click, drops, runs fairly clean, back to both, and back 2 clicks to the left.
Good.
Good. Back to both. Yeah, we'll make sure, yeah.
Almost looks like it's still.
Yeah.
Huh?
Doesn't sound right to me, that's why I'm... Alright, so carb heat check. So now we'll turn on the carb heat. And drops a little bit. Now go ahead and push the carb heat off. And it goes back. Amp meter, to check that, you can load it up, or you can turn off the alternator, the left switch. And some people, they load and turn on everything to see if it'll... Light won't, there it goes. Takes a little work. But, alright, so we'll turn all the lights back off, and you can turn it back on. Goes back to charging, so our electrical system's good. Suction gauge is still in the green. Alright, so now, number 9, idle check. So we'll pull the throttle all the way back to idle.
Jones 802, cross runway 19er left at Kilo, hold short, runway 19 right.
Roger, cross runway 19 left, hold short at runway 19 right. At Kilo, Jones 802.
Yeah, let's go ahead and try it with the carb heat on. It's not on the checklist, but that's our landing configuration, so we'll make sure it runs. Doesn't go below 500 RPMs, so it runs fairly smooth. So now you can push the carb heat off and put that back to 1,000 on the throttle.
Spartan 06, runway 1 left, taxi to the Alpha.
7 left, taxi to Alpha, Spartan 06.
Radio set.
Yep, and...
Verified ground, Jones 802, clear of runway 1 left.
Jones 802, Roger.
I'm not too worried about you figuring out this radio yet. There's similarities between these, but after the ground, you'll understand them. I'm not going to teach you the GPS quite yet. So, you'll be responsible for these buttons on this side of these instruments. Or, well, these are radio devices. Alright, so... Now, our run-up checklist complete, so now you can call up Riverside Ground, Cessna 5440 Mike, run-up complete. And then whatever they say, read it back to them, and we'll taxi up to the hold short line.
Riverside Ground, Cessna 5440 Mike, run-up complete.
Cessna 40 Mike, number 1, contact tower.
Just tell her, number 1, contact tower, 40 Mike.
Number 1, contact tower, 40 Mike.
Alright, so, good. So now let's taxi up to the hold short line up here. So, brake, feet off brakes, advance the throttle a little bit.
2, for information, Romeo, request radar service to the west.
This is a 17 Romeo, Riverside Ground, maintain at or below 2,500, Tulsa departure frequency 134.7, squawk 0220.
Maintain at or below 2,500, departure frequency 134.7, squawk 0220.
So this line up here, we don't want to cross, so
Right.
just go ahead, slow it down.
Romeo, runway 1
I got
left,
it.
taxi to the Alpha.
And we want to kind of turn into the direction so that we can see. So this works out. Alright, so now we're here. So now we got to switch to our tower frequency. Now in this one, I'm going to switch to a COM 1 since I already programmed in there. It's 120.3. So we're at runway 1 left. So, tell them Riverside Tower, Cessna 5440 Mike, 1 left, take off to the west. And we'll wait till they stop talking, obviously.
Just 4723 Hotel, runway 1 left, clear to land.
1 left, clear to land to T Hotel.
And the Cessna holding short at 1 left, site call sign direction to flight.
What do you say?
40 Mike, westbound.
Spot 440 Mike, Riverside Tower, turn left, heading 280, runway 1 left, clear for takeoff.
280, clear for takeoff. 40 Mike. Alright, let's go ahead and taxi out there. Windows closed. Alright, advance the throttle. Now let's go line up on the runway. Alright, bring that throttle back a little bit. We're just going to keep it rolling. Alright, left. There you go. Alright, hand on the yoke. Because we're going to fly the airplane now. Alright, full power. Hold it steady.
Cessna 930, your traffic short final.
06. Hold that throttle in. Alright, airspeed's alive, we have full power. Alright, so start rolling it back. A little bit lighter on the feet. So start pulling the yoke back a little bit. Start pulling the yoke back. You gotta pull the yoke back. Pull the yoke back. There you go. At about 55 knots, start pulling it back. That way you get that nose on, we won't go side to side like that.
Okay.
Alright, so now, there we go. There you go. So we're gonna... You got this. Hold it level, just like we are. It's a little gusty today.
Yeah.
5, turn left at runway 31, hold short of runway 1 left, remain this frequency.
This is Oklahoma, so we gotta learn to fly in the wind. Alright, so we want to climb at about 70 knots, so let's pull back a little more, climb a little steeper.
Spartan 15, turn left at 31, keep your taxi speed up, turn left onto runway 100 right. Then turn right at Alpha.
By the way, I didn't put any control inputs on that takeoff, that was all you.
Oh yeah. That's why we were swerving.
Hey. Gotta start somewhere, Ashley. My sister's name's Ashley, so if I accidentally call you Ash out of old habits, please forgive me.
As a lot of people call me that.
Sister 40 Mike, contact Tulsa departure.
Contact Tulsa departure. Where's Mike? Alright, as we're climbing, let's go ahead and turn to the left. And we'll keep that climb going.
Switch over to now 120.3.
Going to tower, 16 Victory.
Try to get the nose of the airplane up. And we need to turn to 280. Tulsa departure, Cessna 5440 Mike, got reverse flight climbing through 1600, request 4500 west.
That's 5440 Mike, Tulsa approach, radar contact. Terminal 052, turn left heading 150.
Left 150, 17052.
Remember, as you climb out, you can add that trim to add back pressure, help loosen up the controls to help you hold about 70. So if you pull back, and you add a little bit nose back, there you go, nose up trim, it'll hold it there a little bit better. And then we're just trying to hold about 70. There you go.
Hey. Well.
And the thing you're going to hear me say a lot is fly the airplane, fly the airplane. If something doesn't look at adjustment, go look at, like in the climb when you're flying the airplane, look at the throttle, look at your trim. And we'll want to keep flying about 280 because it can give us a...
Left to 100, 052.
40 Mike, altitude your discretion, proceed on course.
Altitude our discretion, proceed on course, 40 Mike. Alright, now we can keep climbing past 2,500. Wait for him to give me permission. It's gonna be a pretty week. One of these days we need to make it out to the lake.
Terminal 052, advise airport site.
Airport side 052.
Terminal 052, clear vision approach, runway 1 left. Intermit to the left downwind.
That left downwind and clear for visual approach 17052.
Terminal 052, contact tower 120.3.
Lower tower 120.3, 17052.
Now they say these clouds are about 5,000, so 4,500 will keep us about 1,000 feet under them. according to the weather people. So we can keep climbing because he gave us permission to climb. But I like it that you stop because you're checking. Also, look at your left window. You'll see traffic going back into Riverside.
Oh, yeah? Do we want to stay about 500?
About 500 feet per minute?
Yeah.
What you just described is what we call a constant rate climb. So we can do that, or we can do a constant airspeed climb. Either way, you establish the control. So pitch for that airspeed, and we'll hold that airspeed. If you want to hold that, you can adjust and hold it also by pitching for it. So let's go try to hold 70 as we climb up here in the last 1,000 feet. So 70 knots. So it'll be a little bit nose higher than we were. But this will have a lot of input as to the slow flight we're about to demonstrate and we'll work on. Slow flight's probably pretty much the hardest of the performance maneuvers. And no, I'm not looking for perfection. This is the demonstration lesson.
This is 40 Mike, Squawk VFR, radar service terminated, change advisory frequency approved.
Squawk VFR frequency change advisory frequency approved. Talk to you on the way back. 40 Mike. So when they tell us that, we just push the VFR button, it goes to 1200. 1200 is the generic transponder signal. It tells altitude, but not exactly who we are out in the practice area. I'm kind of wondering if it's busy because he cut us off a little bit earlier than usual. So now we don't even have to do the altitude hold at 4,500, but we're going to keep doing that, but because we're not under control anymore. Good afternoon, West Practice Area. Cessna 5440 Mike is currently 5 miles southeast of the Keystone Dam, climbing through 4,000 AO miles west.
We're up 3,500 over Keystone Fingers.
Okay, who are you?
09, we're just on about 2 miles east of Hayward. It's 45 stalls, 45 stands, keep turns.
Roger to that, 40 Mike will proceed northwestbound. 40 Mike. Alright, so as we continue climbing here, good job of trying to hold 70. I want to turn to the right because there's guys over here a little bit lower than us, which will make it a little bit easier, but we'll go play over Keystone Lake today. Another cool thing is usually over Keystone Lake there might be a break in the clouds, so it might be able to climb higher and get above them. The problem with these kind of clouds, they're kind of cumulus, so they're puffy.
Yeah.
OSX there at 3,500, just about a mile south of Keystone Fingers, simulated emergency.
Oh, they're covering some of the same stuff we are. Our 200 feet to our goal. Alright, so when we get to this point, just kind of let the airplane level out first and then speed up a bit, and then as it kind of wants to start to kind of climb on you while it's level, pull that power back. So we'll hold it back about 2,400 RPMs.
Makes sense. Trim off?
Yep, we might need it a little bit nose down trim because we've got a little bit of a climb going. There you go, correct it instantly with the yoke. And then hopefully the trim will help you keep it there. There you go. Now we're cooking. You really can't go any higher because there's just, I think those clouds are a little bit lower than they were originally saying because it looked just about 500, a little less than 500 feet above us. Let's go ahead and turn straight north, or 0 degrees on our heading indicator. There you go, level the wings. Now, when you're on there, so now, hold it there so it's about lined up. So when we get to the top of climb, we'll make sure our heading indicator lines up with our compass. Looks like that's about right. So, because their gyros, it becomes a little inaccurate over time. So you got about, after top of climb, you check it, and then after that, about every 15 minutes. That way that you know that, hey, if I'm given a heading, or they tell me a heading to fly, and if I use that, then we're actually flying where we're supposed to fly. Otherwise, they get mad at us and like, why aren't you going the direction? Oh, because I didn't check my heading indicator settings. Alright, so as we cruise over here over the state park, wondering actually how cold that water is today.
I don't want to find out.
Well, I would on a boat,
right.
Not in an airplane. Unless it was unless it's a flying boat, then yeah, I would want to land on the water. But like, yeah, Zach, did you bring a fishing pole? Yes, I did. Because I'm obnoxious like that. All right, so we want to clear our area. So we will want to look. So first turn we'll do to the left, so lift the wing a little bit, lift the left wing so we can see a little bit above us, no one there. Alright, now let's turn to heading 270. So start leveling the airplane out, because you got to lead that turn, otherwise we overshoot our heading by 10 degrees. And we'll do another 90-degree turn to the right. So we'll lift the right wing, so, alright, and turn to the right, back to north. Alright, very good. Now we've kind of covered the bases there. I have the airplane. So, clearing turns. So, slow flight is the art of flying slow without stalling. So, how we set that, you have a checklist for that. So, field, full after stall, maneuvering during slow flight. So we just did the turns and everything. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of throttle back to about 1800. So I'm going to pull that carb heat out. I'm going to actually let guess a little bit larger so we have a little more clearance from the clouds. Now I'm going to go to about 4,000 feet. Well, heading north here. Now what I'm doing is I'm letting the airplane slow down. For the greater purpose of, we just want to get to the point where we are used to controlling the airplane kind of coming in and landing, because the dynamic, the airplane feels a lot different from a cruise flight than in landing, because it's a little more sluggish, it feels a lot less. So now, I want to hold 4,000 feet, but I went too low. So I'm going to pitch up, but I'm not going to increase my throttle, so the airplane slows down. So now I'm going to control, I want to fly about 55 knots at 4,000 feet. So I'm pitching for that. So now I'm there, but I can't keep pitching up, otherwise I'll get too slow. So now it's going to start descending again. So now that's where I talk about adding power. Now I'm going to add power while pitching, like that constant speed climb you did coming out here. And I'm going to let the airplane climb back up. I'm going to tighten that throttle setting a little bit, just so get the climb kind of going in there. And it needs to be a slow climb. When we fly slow flight, we do everything slowly because the airplane's slow. So if you make any big changes, the airplane will stall and want to come out from under us, which I'll also demonstrate with that here in a minute. But with that much in at 55, I got full power in. Now I still have carb heat out, which is on, so it's a little less powerful, but I leave that on just in case I need to slow it back down, since I'm climbing up at 100 feet a minute, so barely up to my 4,000 feet. I am going to dip the nose just so I can check in front, because if it flies really nose high, I don't want to hit traffic or anything. So 55, and that horn, that's the stall horn, I don't want that on, so if it comes on, I just let that back pressure out and let the airplane speed up a little bit. So now I'm at 4,000 feet, but now I'm at 4,000 feet at 55 knots, so I don't want to keep climbing, so I'm going to take a little bit of that power out and try to hold it. Now, at this point, I kind of got the airplane kind of a little configured a little bit, so now I'm going to add a little bit of nose up trim, just so that I don't have to keep holding so much pressure in there. So now it's making the work a lot easier. Now it's a little bit bumpy, so now I'm climbing again, so now I need to take that power out. We had a thermal, so it helped push us up. So now I kind of have to pull way back, which is why I kept the carb heat on. And now I want to go back down. Trying to. Now let it get too slow. I'm just going to let it kind of glide at 55 back down to its altitude. Then I'm going to put that power back in. Need a reference. Alright, so with headwinds and everything, like if we're flying into the wind like we are right now, it says 55 knots on there. Right now we're going 45 knots with the wind. I'm just trying to hold it here. And when you're flying this maneuver, like for a check ride, they want you to hold it within 100 feet plus or minus your goal. So I just got to keep it in this window. So now I'm going to add, because it's going down, I'm showing a trend with the vertical speed. So I'm going down, so I'm going to add a little bit of power. Hopefully that'll kind of zero itself out. But at the same time, I'm pitching for that airspeed. Pitch for the airspeed, power for altitude. Now I'm climbing again, so I take it out. Trying to find that sweet spot on a bumpy day. Well, not too bad actually today. I've been desensitized to turbulence. As you can see, I'm flying a straight line, and I'm just holding it kind of on the heading. I'm trying to hold the wings level. I'm trying to hold the heading. Right now I'm flying 010 into the wind. And I can add a little throttle because it gets a little bit of a descent going. I'm trying to find that sweet spot. That looks pretty good. Kind of holding, climber descending, holding 55. Alright, so, and that's with flaps in. Eventually you will fly with flaps down. You fly flaps down, you actually fly it all the way down to like 45 knots at the bottom of the green arc. So, 55 knots we're holding here. So I'm going to turn to the left because you got to do a couple turns. But in this configuration, we're so slow, if we bank like we have been, we'll actually stall out one of the wings. So we can't give up all of our vertical lift to the horizontal lift. So I'm going to turn, I'm going to let some of the back pressure out so keep our speed while doing this, and slowly at standard rate, which is basically that rate at to the west. And then I do it back to the right to go back to the right. So lift, turn. The only time I get to practice this, by the way, is on these demo flights. My goal is to have you do this better than me. Alright, so back on north, back still at the same level. So next, in this current configuration, then I slow the airplane down even more. I do it by putting in flaps, 10 degrees at a time. 10, 20, 30. And when it does, it slows the airplane down, but it gives it more lift. So I gotta drop the nose, I'll kind of hold it down initially. And then as the airplane won't slow down, I actually have to decrease the throttle. Get to that slower airspeed, because I want to get to about 45. Almost idle. So now it's got, there we go. Now I can put the power back in, because now I'm going to kind of hang off the prop again. I want the stall horn on, so I'll let that, I want the climb back in there, so I'll put power in. But we got these big air brakes kind of helping us fly, but at the same time, hold it back. So now I want to hold it right about there, and I want a little bit of climb. Now on some of these hot days, this airplane in this configuration won't climb, or barely will. That's fine. But basically you want to be on the edge of where that stall is. And you do the same thing, but just a little bit slower airspeed, and it's fine tuning that movement for like landing, because this would be Well, this would be a very slow landing configuration while we're pointing down. So then you do the full turns again. I'm not going to do a turn back to the right, but show you a turn to the left. Try and hold that nose a little bit down so we can keep it. Don't want the airspeed on, but at the same time, alright, so I'm going to put in my carb heat because I got full power in there now. I want to hold my altitude at that airspeed. And just not doing it with throttle alone. So now, I got the flaps down, I'm trying to climb, I'm getting a little bit of climb, about 200 feet a minute. And there we go, so I can about climb, so I can, if I want to, I can level it out, so I pull that power back, let it slow down, rest that climb. Now really, tricky wicked thread. A little bit easier in the bigger planes, this one, but that's there. Now to show you, if I turn, I'll do a clearing turn first. Clearing turn, say I turn too steep, and I do that. Oh, didn't brake on me. Huh. Yep, there it goes. One side will stall on you.
Yeah.
And all you gotta do is full. It's the same recovery every time. And we didn't even lose freaking that much altitude, but we don't want to stall. So now I'm just gonna hold it back at 40 or 3800. I'm gonna hold, and what I want to show you is just the recovery. So 4800, so everything's down, out. All you do is just like a stall recovery. Full power, with the nose a little bit down, because we don't want to lose altitude, so we want to make sure we got to climb. But as the airspeed increases, for every 10 knots of airspeed, I take 10 degrees out. So 60, 10 degrees, and I'm holding my altitude, going faster, and I slow the transition down so I can keep putting in there. Alright, so that's a lot. That's why I do slow flight kind of by itself. Alright, your airplane. A lot to take in. So, I'm going to help you with this. Alright, carb heat on. I'm not worried about the altitude today, I'm just worried about the kind of getting used to the technique. Throttle down to 1800 because we're going to slow down the airplane. Now you're going to start pitching for 55 because we don't lose altitude. And we are not going to worry about flaps yet. Alright, so hold 55, hold the wings level. So now we're trading that airspeed for altitude. We can't give up any more airspeed, so adding power. Or 47, we don't want to keep descending, so add a little more power. Hold 090. I'm doing pretty good. Alright. Very good. There you go, make the corrections. Airspeed, pitch for the airspeed, power for the altitude. Start descending a little bit, add that power back in. Then add a little more power for that, because we're descending just a little bit. And it kind of creeps up on you. There you go. Alright, now give me a little bit of left turn back to north. Just a slight turn. You want to try to hold the same speed, the same altitude, and just let the airplane turn. It's a slow flight, slow turn. So we don't need a lot. We're not trying to change the configuration of our airplane very much.
Southeast area, 23675, about 6 miles northwest of Haskell, 3,500. Anybody up?
So we're gaining altitude, so take a little power out.
Alright, Southeast area 675. We're going to
Level the airplane out.
maneuvering.
Hold that 55. We're still in slow flight. Take a little of that power out so we don't keep climbing. Alright, hold this heading. Use rudders if you need to, just a little bit. Constant pressure. Because we're turning a little bit to the left now. There you go. Alright, give me a turn back to the right to 090. Trying to hold 55 at 3,700 feet. We're descending, so add power. Alright, so let's go ahead and add flaps. So 10 degrees at a time until you got full flaps.
Ready?
Yep, keep going. I'll put it about 46 knots. Keep those wings level. Add a little bit of right rudder. Alright, and add full flaps. Let the airplane slow down to 46 knots. Try, and then you make the same kind of corrections for the altitude. Power adjustments for the altitude. Doing a good job. Taking that stuff a lot faster than a lot of other people. I had one guy, he couldn't solo until I got him to 51 hours. That's a long story.
A lot of hours.
Yeah, just for a solo. He's one of those guys that didn't follow advice very well. Alright. So there's a horn, let some of the back pressure out. Alright, so give me a turn to the right to heading 180 at this airspeed, at this altitude, this configuration.
Almost there. There.
What do you see? So we're just setting to add a little power. Get the wing low, add a little right rudder because we don't want the airplane to... Alright, good job. And give me one more turn to the left, back to 090. Add a little power if you need to hold your altitude while we're turning. Add a little power. Add a little power. Now I want you to go ahead and recover. So start with full power, so full throttle.
Carb.
Yep, carb heat in. Now let the nose drop because it's going to accelerate. Hold your heading, hold your altitude. Now as it increases, take the first 10 degrees out. Now make sure it doesn't go too far. Alright, so hold your altitude, hold your heading. Hold your altitude, hold your heading. Alright, so it's speeding up, so next 10 degrees out. There you go. And finally 0. So you're within your tolerances for the altitude we kind of use. Now look up there. Heading indicator says 090 east, but it's 070. So we're actually on there. It processed. It does that when it's at high angle attacks and stuff. It just won't quite work right for elongated periods of time. Alright, turn us back, turn us all the way around back to 270. You can go left or right, it doesn't matter. That was good. That was good for a slow flight.
Yeah.
Alright, so I want to demonstrate a couple other things on the flight. The main one is slow flight on this lesson. Now, to show gain appreciation for some of the other things that can happen in an airplane. I have the airplane. For some reason, like if we had to get down pretty fast, like to 2,500 feet, we have an emergency, what we call emergency descent. How that's done, I don't even really teach a checklist. It is in the pink pages, and yes, you will be required to know this and memorize it. So I just do it as a flow. So basically I start carb heat, power all the way idle. I dump the flaps all the way. This puts the airplane in a slow, high drag configuration. Then I gotta dive the airplane at the top of the wide arc. I'm going to 2,500 doing this. And I'm gonna hold it there. And I'm gonna bank it at about 30 degrees so that we can go down really fast. It's emergency descent. Purpose, to get down as fast as possible in a controlled manner.
Okay.
Is this causing any anxiety?
Actually, no.
Okay. Because I was going to say, I'm trying to do this in the smoothest way possible. And literally, that's it.
Okay.
Until we get to the altitude that we kind of want to. So 2,500 is my target. Doesn't matter what heading I'm coming at. I'm just going to keep checking. Don't want to get going too fast because it hurts the flaps. But, alright, so I'm almost down there. Now I slow down. Now I just pitch airplane level. So the recovery is just literally the opposite. It's kind of like from slow flight. Full, full. And this is the recovery of everything. I wish it would come back up a little faster. That's a little disheartening sometimes.
Yeah.
And then 10 degrees out at a time. I'm not going to make you do this one today, but I want to show it to you today.
Okay.
Now, the next thing that can happen that's also an emergency, and also why I kind of picked where we are and kind of come up and throw these lessons together this way, is engine can die. This has happened to me at least, well, twice. But I fly airplanes in an experimental manner, so I do a little more risk in my day job, other than flying this. Alright, so first thing is, okay, engine's gone.
Fly the airplane.
Yep, fly the airplane. It's a glider now. So our best glide speed for in a glider configuration is 65 knots, so I just do that. So first thing, do that, fly the airplane. I'm buying time. Second thing, find a place to put the airplane down. Alright, I got these big fields under here. I'm going to land north to south in there, and I'm going to land into the wind to the north. So I'm just going to go this way. I'm going to start heading toward my objective in case I can't get this restarted. 3, I want to try to restart it because I don't really want to do an off-airport landing. So, starting with the fuel selector down here, make sure it's on because no gas, no engine. Mixture in, make sure that no gas, no engine. Carb heat on because if it's carb ice, no fuel, no air, no engine. And finally, I'll go over here, ignition on, master on, and primer in and locked. And I'll try to restart it. It doesn't restart. So what I do now I try to cut everything down because of a fire threat. So mixture comes out, fuel select comes off. Don't really need to worry about that. Ignition would come off. I'll leave this back on. I'm gonna let it keep my best glide. Trying to fly instruct at the same time, however. My field's behind me, so I'm going to just keep doing a turn into the wind. I'm going to turn to 121.5. It's Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. So that's not 5440. Mike going down 6 miles north of Keystone Dam. 2 souls aboard. Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. 7700 on here, which is emergency transponder frequency. So they can kind of see where we are. My field. And as I come down, I'm like, okay, it looks soft. I'm going to try to touch down before those power lines up there. I can use flaps as I need to. Train advisory, under 1,000 feet. And I would do whatever I need to, whether it's slip or something, and get it down, and then flare and do a landing. And then stop the airplane. Now, I got made, I'm going to do a go-round, like I did before. Full, full. Come on, 40 Mike. Hold it level, build up airspeed, 10 degrees out at a time.
Going over soon.
Now what this does for us yeah, too low terrain. Is allow us to practice and be able to take care of the airplane. Now, eventually, you'll be doing that, and I want you to kind of follow those. I need you to have that memorized. That is one of the most important things. For you solo, I need you to know those. I don't expect you to do it today, but it's one of those things, trust me. And then I will take you to an airfield, one of these non-tower ones, and I'll cut the engine. I'll have you glide all the way to the runway. The reasoning for it is, the first time I got to do that is when it actually happened to me. So I make sure that you guys get to see and be able to handle it. Alright, your airplane. Climb up to 2,500 feet, and we'll do a climbing left turn to 2,500 feet at about 70 knots. Because it's about time to go back to the airport. So let the nose drop a little bit, because now we're at 60 knots. And let's start that left turn.
So what heading? Sorry.
We'll go to 180. Get close, the ground gets warm again. Ugh. 2,500 is generally a good altitude for like flying back to the airport, because that way we're high enough for them to see us on radar, but low enough that people going out into the practice area fly over us. Usually you'll find everyone, so we're at 55 knots, we need to be at 70 knots. The drop pitch down, and we get more airspeed. There we go.
That was fun.
Yep. And once we get to 2,500, level us out.
Well.
So let's descend to get down to 2,500. Alright, so as we kind of cruise out here, that's Keystone Dam. That's going to be where I report to. I got to listen and get ATIS again from Riverside.
308, gust 20, visibility is 10. View clouds of 5,000, scatter clouds of 8,500. Temperatures 3-1.
You guys ready for the day to end?
The altimeter is 1077. Visual approach to use, flying in the party, one left and one right. On party aircraft, contact ground control, clearance taxi instructions. Fly with contact self approach 124.0. Notice to airman, crane 800 foot northwest, the tower 145 VHL. Unlet tower 1 mile west northwest, 88 VHL. Unlet tower 1.3 miles west northwest, 110 VHL. 5-1 contact GFs here. Northside tower information Sierra, time now 2256 wind 0308, gust 20, visibility is 10. View clouds of 5,000, scatter clouds of 8,500. Temperatures 3-1, dew points 18, the altimeter is 1077. Visual approach to use.
Alright, so basically from that we got our new altimeter 17977. It's information Sierra, and the wind is still down the runway, but is now gusting 20 knots. Wind in this airplane is incredibly fun. I have a heart, like usually when it gets about 25 knots I won't fly this airplane anymore just because it gets too bumpy and too kind of ridiculous to train in. It's punishing you, it's not productive. Now, in the air right now, it's actually pretty stable, so now, and this is going on, we're not really getting in too much to landing jet, but we will after today, because we're going to do this ground the next time. We're going to explain all that wonderful stuff about such things. Alright, so we'll hold 180 and we also they told us the approach is 124.0, so it's changed since we left.
Fighting 150 intercept localizer runway 1.
So I'm going to tell them that we're about 3 miles northwest of the Keystone Dam at 2,500 inbound to Riverside with information 0.
Kilo Quebec, contact Riverside Tower 120.3.
0.3, 9 Kilo Quebec.
Oh, I've flown that airplane too.
Delta 2786, when you break out in a little bit, the field will be 2 o'clock and 12 miles.
Inside, Delta 2786.
Delta 2786, cleared visual approach runway 36 right.
Hold that 2,500. And we can add a little bit of throttle because we want to keep our airspeed a little bit higher. For cruise, we want to be in the 90s.
7 Bravo, Bravo, turn right heading 080.
080, right Bravo.
November 28 Tango, turn left on course.
Turn left on course, 2 Tango.
Tulsa approach, Cessna 5440 Mike, 3 miles west of the Keystone Dam, 2,500 inbound to Riverside with Sierra.
Number 5440 Mike, Tulsa approach, squawk 0243 ident.
0243 ident. 40 Mike.
0343.
0343, correction, 40 Mike.
27 Bravo Bravo, resume on navigation, tender the midfield, downwind runway 1, left contact, Riverside Tower 120.3.
Okay, Bravo. Sources Sparkers Spark 27 is local Riverside at 1,900 feet for 2,500 to the west.
Spartan 27, Tulsa departure radar contact, continue tower sign heading, and altitude your discretion.
Continue tower sign heading and altitude discretion.
Oh, now he's waiting for him to say,
5440 Mike, radar contact 3 west of the Keystone Dam, fighting 140 vectors, runway 1 left.
140 vectors for 1 left, 40 Mike. Alright, so turn to 140 and we'll hold
traffic,
this
1 to 2 o'clock,
2,500.
Is a helicopter 1300.
Look on 2786.
Delta 2786.
There you go, and let's descend back down to 2,500.
21, please hold up to 2786.
November 125, maintain VFR, practice ILS approach approved, no separation services provided, Oakmobile. November 2 Lima Victor, when you break out, the field will be 12 o'clock, 10 miles.
Roger, field side, 2 Lima Victor.
2 Lima Victor, clear visual approach, runway 1 left.
Visual 1 left, 2 Lima Victor. And self departure 151.
Alright, add a little power. Get going a little bit faster here.
November 2 Lima Victor, contact Riverside Tower 120.3, good day.
Hold that heading.
0.3, we'll see you.
You got the airplane for a second? So what I'm looking for, like when we want to kind of go faster at a cruise altitude, all we gotta do is when we put it in, we just add more nose down trim. And then the airplane stays, but it'll fly faster for us. Airplane. Oh, you got it.
November 40 Mike fighting 120.
120, 40 Mike. Alright, so turn to left.
Altitude to your discretion. Climb. Are you going to climb?
What?
He wants us to turn to 120.
Roger.
So level the wings. There we go.
I think 280 is fine.
Huh?
Approach terminal 2 Tango request terminating.
Number 28 Tango radar service is terminated. Squawk VFR. Frequency changes approved.
We'll call 3 Tango.
Number 40 Mike, I missed it. Did you say you had their ATIS information at Riverside?
Affirmative, we have Sierra for Riverside. 40 Mike.
Thanks. November 125 frequency changes approved. Report back this frequency under climb out.
We'll go 1515.
Alright, so we see the Cityplex Tower out there. So the airport's a little bit to the right of that and closer to us, but they're flying us south of the airport so we can fly in.
No, Spartan 09er Squawk 0213 ident.
0213, Spartan 09er.
Number 40 Mike, resume on navigation, head to the white tanks, make straight in runway 1 left.
Resume on navigation to the white tank, straight in for 1 left. 40 Mike. Alright, what he means is, hey, there's not enough like traffic out here you have to be specific about. So, you know where Glenpool white tanks are? Alright, so about right in front of us is Sepulpa. If you look a little bit to the left and about a half inch higher, you'll see a bunch of white things. Those are the white tanks he's talking about. We just need to fly straight there.
Spartan 09er, thank you. Make straight in runway 1 right.
Straight in 1 right, Spartan 09.
27 traffic, 2 o'clock, 3 miles southbound, 2500, indicated type unknown.
Equal traffic, Surface 77 and terminated, request terminated.
Spartan 27, Roger, radar service is terminated, squawk VFR, frequency changes approved.
Radar service terminated, frequency changes approved, squawk VFR, Spartan 27.
Test approach from and 551 Tango Charlie.
Was that 551 Tango Charlie?
That's correct. We're over Collinsville, inbound Tulsa with Alpha.
Thank you. Can you say your type of aircraft again, please?
It's a Grumman Wildcat.
Oh!
Grumman 511 Tango Charlie squawk.
That's a cool airplane. That's a World War II fighter.
Oh, wow.
That's a very rare one, too. Collinsville. There's one of the guys he flies in air shows aerobatically. It's amazing.
November 1 Tango Charlie, radar contact.
Also because not just rare, it's underpowered and not very maneuverable, and the guy makes it do it.
November 1 Tango Charlie, Roger. Enter a left downwind for runway 36 left.
Okay, left downwind for 36 left for 1 Tango Charlie.
Number 1 Tango Charlie, contact tower 121.2.
21.2, thank you. Tower Grumman 551.
And that was 705, 901 November Delta, correct? Got it. 70595 November Delta, squawk 0345 and identity Tulsa approach.
Yeah, pretty much my background as a child was airplane stuff. So basically, I was Civil Air Patrol and Boy Scouts.
At 2000, inbound, Riverside, for information 0.
Buried in books.
95 November Delta, radar contact 6 southwest, west-southwest of Sapulpa. Maintain VFR 3000, fighting 020 sector for sequence, expect midfield downwind runway 1 left.
Now white tanks start to show up a little more, and, you know,
November 17 Romeo.
you can tell they're white tanks.
0346 ident.
That puts us perfectly in line with the main runway to get back in.
0346, 17 Romeo.
Now, when you're flying, are you?
November 17 Romeo.
How tight of a grip do you have on the yoke?
Pretty tight.
You'll do yourself a big service if you loosen it up, which I know is going to be hard for you to do. But if it won't do what you do with a loose grip, that means that's kind of your indication that, hey, I need to add trim to something or adjust the power.
7 Romeo, turn right, heading 270.
27017 Romeo.
It's more of like just keeping it turned to this way.
You gotta put a little bit bank in, and you gotta put a little rudder in to keep the ball in the center on the turn coordinate.
40 Mike, contact Riverside Tower 120.3.
120.3, good day, 40 Mike.
November 5 Tango Hotel, frequency changes approved. Report back to this frequency on your climb out.
So we work back from Tulsa approach. Now we're going to talk to Riverside Tower. And since they already have us on radar, we don't have to tell them where we are. They know where we are. Tell them inbound, full stop. So if you want to go ahead and call them, just tell them Riverside Tower, Cessna 5440 Mike, inbound, full stop.
Riverside Tower, Cessna 5440 Mike.
Inbound, full stop.
I'm gonna forget it. Oh!
You guys gotta tell them who they are. Riverside Tower, we're looking at them. Riverside Tower, 5440 Mike, inbound, full stop. I'm going to go do this for camera. Riverside Tower, I see you. 5440 Mike that I'm reading. Inbound, full stop.
Riverside Tower, Cessna 5440 Mike, inbound, full stop.
Just 5440 Mike, Riverside Tower. What pattern entry did approach give you?
They gave us a straight in for 1 left from the white tanks.
Okay, thank you. Riverside Tower, Seminole 595, November Delta with you for midfield.
Very good.
Left downwind for 1 left. Seminole 595.
Why is that so nerve-wracking?
It's weird. It's public speaking. Biggest fear of most people. Was for me. Alright. Let's slow the airplane down a little bit. So pull back the power to about 2100 RPMs.
Straight in, runway 1 right. Spartan 09 at Riverside Tower, roger.
So, with this, we're going to descend down to 1700, and when we get to the white tanks, we're going to turn back toward the airport.
Just 17 Romeo, Riverside Tower, roger. Just 40 Mike, turn direct to the numbers now.
Turning direct to the numbers, 40 Mike. Alright, turn to the airport now.
40 Mike, runway 1 left, clear to land.
1 left, clear to land, 40 Mike.
705 November Delta, I don't know if approach told you or not, but you'll be number 2, follow Cessna 152. Just,
alright, level air wings.
Actually about 2 miles.
Alright, that's my buddy on a check ride, so we're going to have to speed this up a little bit. This is going to be a non-normal standard lane. I have the airplane. What he's asking for is, a lot of private pilots don't get taught this. He asks, when he says turn the numbers, it's at the end of the runway, those big numbers, I got to turn directly toward them. Now, he's cutting us in, so we don't have to wait for him to do that. But since my buddy's on his multi-engine instructor check ride, we're going to go as fast as we can so we do not interfere with his check ride in any sort of way. That's why I'm bearing it and going as fast as I can. This is not a normal I repeat, not a normal procedure that you do in training, hence why I'm flying the airplane. So, he's coming in on an instrument approach that follows a degree gradient if there was clouds today. Yep. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do, is everything that I kind of talked to you through the last time as we approach and come into land, I'm going to do very quick transitions. I'm able to do this mostly, if not just because of experience, and I'm able to kind of do it. Explaining the transition. One, I'm not going to teach you to straight do this right away, but you will be able to do a faster approach, or at least turn to the numbers. You'll know what it means.
Yeah, because I thought he meant that.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
and the thing is, that's not normally something that comes up. It never came on my training. The first time I ever heard it was, I was a flight instructor. I just did it.
794, we are number one left for departure to the west, to the practice.
It's Carl.
1794 Riverside Tower, turn left heading 300, runway 1 left, clear for takeoff, no delay.
Yeah, that's right, Carl, no delay.
300, no delay.
Because I'm going to be there in a second.
0 lander, runway 1 right, clear to land.
Alright, I don't see my buddy yet, but he's probably slowing down. That's another one of my friends that's taking off right now. All his instructors, yeah. Alright, so we're close, we're going fast. So now I'm just going to do exaggerated motion to slow the airplane.
Remember Delta, they're just barely west of final now and turning about a mile final. Roger, 5 Delta.
So I'm just going to pitch for my airspeed, like I just said on the slow flight. Let the airplane slow down. I'm going to keep it going a little bit faster. Normally I want about 65.
105, remember Delta, he's just about at the golf course. No factor, number 2, runway 1 left, clear to land.
On the strobes, hopefully he'll see us.
Get a taxi back if possible. 705, remember Delta, roger.
Now I need to check the windsock. Make sure, because right now we're full in the wind, so it's going to be a crosswind landing. So I'm going to have to hold right wing down, banking into it, and then I'm going to have to hold the rudders to kind of keep it straight with the runway. Now because I'm going really, really fast, I want to glide once we're getting into ground effect. I'm not adding any flaps because we'll just float longer. So I'm just going to touch down with my right main wheel first. And kind of, I'm balancing on it, and the other wheels come down. Go full stop. Exit the runway. Clean up the airplane.
Taxi to parking via off this frequency.
Taxi parking via this frequency and alpha. 40 Mike.
So 794, proceed on course. On course, 794.
Don't usually do that, but I'm trying to help him on the check ride. Alright, you can taxi the airplane. Hand on the throttle, feet going, and we're going to turn left here and go back to the main hangar. We're going to park in front of the awning because there's not a jet together. Clear right, clear left. I'm probably the only guy in the airport that'll do 120 knot approach on a 152. Alright, slow down. And use the brakes a little bit. Just a little bit. Oh. Oh, that's tough for them. Alright, I got the airplane for a second. Clear left. Jet fuel. Not that I'm addicted or anything. Alright, pull out that shutdown checklist.
RP. Hold. Off. Avionics master.
beacon off. And go ahead and take the key out, put it on there.
Ooh.
Never dull a day at the airport. And some days you just want a dull day.
So if they like wanted me to do that at some point and I didn't want to, could I just say like
unable?
Okay.
The official terminology is unable. So what they would do in that case is they'd vector you back out toward the white tanks, or further, they give you another vector like 180 and basically put you behind that airplane to land.
Yeah.
And that's also acceptable.
Okay.
These are things that we will cover in the ops ground, actually, because we talk about everything the tower can say to you, and then we kind of do scenario-based training of just talking through the airplane. Now, one thing I will suggest to you, I don't know if you already have it on there, but to take a picture of the cockpit. That way you have an idea of where every kind of switch is. That way when you go back to the checklist, you can like, okay, I'm doing this, this, and this. Oh yeah, your phone.
I was going to take a picture, because I took a picture of it in the 172, but, not really.
I'll get out, because I got to talk to my next guy. I got to get him pre-flight in this. That's what I do, hot hitting. I got the time, so don't worry about that. All your stuff. Just remember to give my friend back his headset.
Yeah, I will.
You don't have to put this stuff back on. Just put this in though. And you can leave the window open.